Good morning. I have a really quick message today, and I mean that. I'm just coming on to share it and pull a couple quick cards. But the collective energy today, it's a really good combination of whatever's happening in the astrology and with everything else to take stock of how far we've come, to actually appreciate what we've done so far. I'm always talking about there's still more. There always will be, but today has this really, it's like I'm seeing a velvet poof that like a Persian cat would sit on, or, the Aristocats type energy. And this day is that velvet poof. And we can sit on it, all of our efforts can sit on that velvet poof and be somewhere between starting something new and having what we want, and feel good about it. You don't have to be all the way to some destination to feel good about it, to feel good about having even left it all. Months ago, one of my more ongoing, frequently used analogies was about getting a car, an object in motion that will stay in motion, to slow down and reverse and change its path into a new direction, and how that's a phasal process, and it takes deceleration and then turning around and then pointing in a new path. So yeah, it's just really important to put yourself in energies of feeling really proud of yourself, really grateful for everything that you've endured so far, and gracefully let go. Every single moment that you're gracefully moving through things that even, 6 months ago you would have handled differently is a success. There's so much liberation in letting that be enough, because you can't transverse, the time-space quilt and address more things than what is right in front of you in any given moment. That's how we're supposed to do it, is just by addressing the things that are right in front of us. So today, what's in front of us is understanding. Okay, I can't, there's too many. Addressing what we've already done in the way of gratitude. So I'm going to get a rune. Haven't done that in a while. It's going to be what we need to focus on releasing, which is interesting. It's not usually what comes up with the runes. This first card that I pulled is going to be in relation to what I just said, the intro. Okay, the second card is going to be current energy, and then the other card is going to be focus. So it's going to encompass some parts of embrace and release. Energy to focus on. Current energy to focus on. But what's clarifying that little message about taking stock of progress? Oh, do you like my Christmas lights? I put them on my cactuses. I'm a minimalist when it comes to holiday decor because I already have so much decor. So there's not really much room. Also, never mind. I was going to say, I kind of find certain Christmas decor like this nutcracker to be sort of tacky. I have one on the other side too. They were hand-me-downs. Can't threaten the vibe of what I already have going on here. Oh, right. Well, first, before I get into this card, which is clarifying that message about being grateful for what you've already moved through, I think that we're having, with the judgment card from the reading the other day and some of the other energies that are shifting, I keep talking about relationships, but I also believe that it has to do with pentacle activity and like actual material stability, collaborations, and projects and career. So the karma that's coming around now, in order for us to change things to go forward, may also be directly related to our pentacles karma. And by that, I mean, if you've been consistently misusing money and you know that you should be not, let's talk about gambling addictions, or, don't even get me started on gambling addictions. I have a lot to say. As with anything else, the system makes it so incredibly accessible for people to get hooked on it, with things like DraftKings these days, and everything else. So I haven't necessarily touched on that, but it is a collective energy, and there's this request to be very diligent about outgoing, incoming funds, and truly making sure that you're seeing your energy as an extension. You're seeing your money as an extension of your energy and letting it work for you. Even when I drink my coffee or my water, right? I'm I hope this fluid fortifies my vessel and restores my cells to perfect health. Maybe not the coffee, but the water, sure. Water is a great thing to put intentions into. anything you consume, but connecting to the energy of your own money the same way. And also not trying to, a lot of people develop patterns with spending habits and money around, I do it this way, and then you develop another mechanism. It's a two-tiered process where there's an unhealthy, whatever, I don't know, something where, like, say it is a gambling thing. There's a fallback, or there's a way of handling that situation to protect the cause, to not have to change the behavior that's not good. So again, with like twisties and layers of release, layers of detangling, there's a few, I think, that are coming undone within the pentacle sphere right now. And so it's a great time to be very honest about that. Really, really look at your own habits and how you're trying to move into, more stability. Ideally, I think everybody's always trying to move into more stability. Doesn't negate in any way the feeling grateful for what we have moved through. But I'll talk about it more, the Pentacles energy that I've been getting for the past 2 days. So this is about my intro message. Oh, it's the Knight of Cups. That's beautiful. Advancement, fulfillment, and healing, a new emotional offer, incoming or outgoing. Current energies, the Magician. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about when I say, we have so much to be grateful for, regardless of the things that are still presenting challenges in an ongoing way, or even lingering bits of challenges that we're trying to fully release and move past. The energy of gratitude and understanding, with that undercurrent of radical acceptance for the present moment, it's such a potent way to manifest, just by absolutely letting everything be as it is, and somehow still holding the vision of what you want to move towards. We're so used to being hyper attentive, whether we realize it or not, to how things need to go. It's almost like all of us humans forgot that there was something, that it's not just up to us, and there's something guiding us in a way that can help us trust a little more. Very much the current energy. It's the Queen of Wands. And I said this is our focus. So both energy to embrace, both energy to release. Yeah, I was just talking about Pentacles stuff. So she likes to be luxurious and abundant. She's confident. But as with the King of Wands, the Queen of Wands has that ego involved, where sometimes there needs to be a little bit more of a grounded approach to things, not getting too carried away, staying kind of in this focus of appreciating things. I always think about the cat as like intuition. With her, I always talk about little advisors for the kings, but for the queen, she's got a more intuitive correlation to leadership and ruling than the king does, where he's more like the organization of the allies, you could say. And then her advisement comes from the inner standing that she has around what she's sensing and feeling. But if that's not exercised properly, then it's not picking up on the right things. Anybody who has a strong sense of intuition needs to ground and replenish themselves so that that radar, you could call it, whatever sense is like pinging information into your energy body and translating into sensations and visions and everything. It's like sterling. It's like something that needs polishing. It's not always this clear, perfect looking glass. You have to take care of yourself. If I go too overboard and I'm doing all types of energy work and I'm getting depleted and I'm trying to see into things, you have to be able to take care of the part of yourself that even has access to these abilities, so that you can keep doing it and not lose your center from where you exercise your energy and your power. And again, tying back to the Pentacles thing, current energy to focus on. I think it's like, coming out of any king energy at all and just thinking about the fact that it is queen, it is wands, she's stable, she's happy. I've always loved the fit here. If we think about queens and corsets and how tight and compact all that is and how hard it is to breathe. She's in like a freaking bathrobe. Like, sign me up. This looks good. You know, cat, sunflower, comfy. Feeling like you can breathe in, you can breathe out, you're at the right place at the right time. You haven't gotten it all done, but you're confident that you can. There's some sort of release right now that's letting us just focus on, can you? No, not right now. Guys. Stop. All right, I'm going to keep going because I'm like, okay, let's clarify. I'm going to cut the deck for the Queen of Wands. Oh no. Yeah, it's the Tower. I'd like another clarifier for that. What's on top of, or no, it's this one that's sticking out here that wanted to come out. Check that out. It's the Seven of Cups in the Tower, okay? So, yeah, I mean, we know that there's a lot of really big changes that are occurring personally and in the collective energies. Again, with cups being a theme, and the it was 11:11 when I looked up. Cups being a theme around emotions and new kinds of expressing emotions or even feeling them in the first place. But it's overwhelming because maybe there's a lot of different areas in the video from the other day that I talked about that have kind of been unlocked, right? Uncharted territory or unrendered fields of a, like in the Maps app, if you zoom in and it's just all gray and then like the map finally loads, it's like that. It's like we're pushing out the bounds of these areas where we were formerly potentially shut down or denying things so that we thought we were kind of healed or open in a certain way. But there had to be kind of some purging out of some stuckness in those areas. And now there's, right, the new area in our own self map that's being rendered, but it's unveiling levels of confusion within that and what we, you know, have the capacity to hold and how we feel about certain things and what to do in general. Just overwhelm manifests in so many different ways. And I don't think I got a really specific channeled message at some point in the afternoon yesterday, and it's like trying to come back in right now. So give me a sec because it could. What's under the Tower? The Page of Swords. So there's something about the Tower. And I talk about him like he's not able to be like, oh, well, maybe I can get out of this somehow. I'll just call Patrick, you know, whatever. I don't know. Like he's not planning another route right now. He simply has to succumb to gravity. And that is overwhelming. But there's something about this transit because it's so like, you know, in the Nocturnal deck, the Navy cards that I use, it's the Prismavision Tarot. How everything is dark, but every illustration, the presence of any matter at all in those illustrations is indicated by little bright dots. And they take on little colors sometimes, but I love the way that that's done because of how it evokes this understanding of like illumination. It's like this season right now with 11/11 into 12/12. We're in, what day is it? Where are we? November. I don't know what day it is, but we're in November. I think it's the 19th or the 20th. And it's like that overwhelm paired with things kind of changing outside of our control and feeling like we've got decisions and things we don't know if we can see clearly. There's something within it where we're able to exercise. Oh, Queen of Wands. Page of Swords. We're able to move within that in a way that's a little bit more adept than we would have seen ourselves being able to move within circumstances in a previous iteration of a similar cycle. So that's a great thing. We have more lateral. Seeing chickens in a car being transported somewhere. I hate imagery like that. You know, livestock going to slaughter in captivity, but the way they have those cages, I'm just seeing wings. Like we can't even, we realize that we have a little bit more area, right? Our wingspan was always the same, but it was like the space that we had to kind of unfurl those things is being opened. And I'm also hearing, like, imagine if you had a wing, or now I'm getting things about Chinese foot binding, where something will, like, you know, if you are the foot, right? And the way they used to do that, I had to do a project on that when I was in like 8th grade. And I was like, I should have picked something else. This is horrifying. And like present it to everybody and everything. And the bones, everything, it will reconfigure, right? It's a maiming process. It's a maiming process of the body. And if we can understand that, even if, right, if something feels comfortable because our bones and muscles grew to flap this way and not have very much range, that can be the comfortable way, such that almost to make it normal again, it feels like breaking the bone just to be able to get it to go back to some type of healthy, like there's something a little bit painful within what we've been doing, but it's to restore, not a little bit painful, it's pretty excruciating, in fact, on some levels for some people. You know, there's levels to this, but it's all for the fact that we did grow into some type of like limited thing, and in order to experience a full expression. And this makes me think again about an analogy from a long time ago where I was talking about the car getting to some type of blocked access and needing to go around and find another way, but all roads are going to lead back to this thing, right? The valley of the unknown. The lessons that the universe wanted to deliver to us this summer, this cycle, this passage moving into the fall, you're going to find them at every access point. There was no way around them. And I guess we realized that, or if we didn't, then it's, you know, that's how painful it's been to kind of open and then fortify too. Like imagine a chicken expanding its wings, or not a chicken, we can choose a bird of higher power if you want. Justice for chickens. Bird of higher power. There would be some moments where not only do you need to kind of experience the pain of that unfurling, but then like have some type of, you know, splint to keep the bones in place as the wing grew back. That's our mindfulness right now, right? We can feel a little bit broken, or like we don't have a certain amount of natural strength to hold the wing in the proper place. But the mindfulness and the emotions is what supports the ability to do that, because it's invisible, right? But it's keeping it set into the place, the wingspan. It's keeping it open like that until the mindfulness and the emotions are healed in a more proper way, so that it'll just work, right? There's this like fusion that's taking place in the wings to be able to, or your unfurled foot, right? Whatever one you want to run with here. Let's not do the feet. Let's go with the wings. But the feet work too. I'm getting that I received that one because it has to do with, if you're not familiar with the ears, the feet, there's reflexology points. The ears and the feet are, and the hands as well, right? We've got subtle chakras on all points of the body that go far deeper and beyond the 7. The feet, and just having your bare feet on the earth, or your bare feet engaged at all, there's so much energetic potential for, you know, even like healing, like kneading the arches, the ball of the foot, for the internal organs and all this stuff. It has to do with our groundedness. And I've been talking about how the Tower energy has been coming to give way to King of Pentacles, to the Hierophant, to wisdom, to a firmer foundation. Excuse me. So it's like it would hurt quite a lot to unbind those feet. I mean, I don't really think that's possible, to be honest, as far as the history of Chinese foot binding. I mean, there was always problems, right? You can't really fix that the way that they did it. But anyway, in my analogy, you can. I'm just saying it's like if the foot had been bound and we were standing on it and there was pain, and then it's unfurled somehow and the foot is starting to bear weight and all the bones that were all melded together and stuff, right? The gravity of your own body weight sitting on the foot is going to highlight all these little moments of pain that need further grounding. So your body being aligned on your 2 feet, the little subtle shifts in how those feet are trying to figure out how to be flat again. That, in the same way as the wings, trying to get them to be supported enough with our own mental conception of what this process is. Like a paper mache as well, I'm getting. It's like we're the ones who are holding something in place while it dries. but we're breathing through that process. It made that, when I said that, it made me want to be like, ooh, freeze frame, like I'm a mannequin, like I snuck into Old Navy and like posing or something. Okay. Clarifier for Knight of Cups in the current energy. This is funny because this was our release the other day, the artist. Okay, I think this is a good thing. If you didn't watch my reading from the other day, I was talking about how we might have drafted up a plan, but we're kind of not fully neglecting, but there's something about the sketches that we've been drafting up where it's like, okay, there's a returning to the drafts that he has to make sure that the way that we advance the plan is aligned with things that have changed while we've been manifesting and working on things. Because as things change, so too does the approach. Okay, so that's coming back up to be revisited, but I'm getting that there's some type of progress with that because of the Knight of Cups giving us a healing energy of advancement. Now with the Queen of Wands and kind of walking a line between feeling in charge, but surrendering power enough to letting things go the way that they need to go, being comfortable, but not forcing things or pushing outcomes. What's our clarifier for all of this with the Seven of Cups, the Tower, the Queen of Wands, the King of Pentacles? This is taking me back to what I said around the Pentacles karma in the collective right now. I will share, haven't wanted to because I don't affirm things. I'm very open about talking about my own experiences, but if I'm trying to manifest things and change my own situations, I won't ever speak on anything that I don't want to affirm in the 3D physical world. Publicly, at least, especially because when you don't know who's watching you, I don't want people to attach their energy to my situation in their own way, you know, but anyway, I'm safe to do this. I'm getting the go ahead. So, I love it here, right? But I can't necessarily afford to keep living here if I'm trying to migrate what I'm doing into trying to be self-employed eventually. It's been very stressful for me. I don't want to move. I don't want to move at all, but I'm looking for places to move. And it has to do with all sorts of things around my own pentacle energy and how I spend my time and what I'm trying to do right now and trade-offs and stuff. It was 2222, 448, right? And we have, this isn't really an 8, but you see it's an Ouroboros again, death and rebirth. My tower, so many things I've changed, so many habits I've let go of, so many things I've done differently. And for so long I've told myself, to be honest with you, I don't even pay that much to live here. Like comparatively, it's such a blessing to live in such a place that's perfect for myself at a rate that I can afford. But my own tower is like, in order to grow what I'm trying to grow, in order to do what I'm trying to do, in order to, something's got to give. And it clicked into place the other night, especially because that card from the Nocturnal deck, oh, I never finished that thought. Thank you. The Tower card from the Nocturnal deck, it shows the house on the hill. It's funny, it's not a tower at all. It's like a house on a hill, which is my home. I live in a little house on a hill. And so I was like, okay, my tower might be the attachment that I have to this home that I've built for myself. I didn't build it, but you know what I mean? I nested hard. But at the end of the day, everything physical, the outward manifestation of our own success and abundance is just attachment, you know? It's just attachment. I'm still who I am if my home burned down and I had nothing. I mean, that's very traumatic to go through. And of course, there are so many sentimental, irreplaceable objects that go beyond, like, you know, clothes and material possessions like family photographs and heirlooms and just the sentimental part of how objects do end up creating a life over time. But at the end of the day, right, it's just a house. I can make a home out of a cardboard box. Trust me, I can. I will settle down and nest wherever I am planted. But just a lot of hard decisions and trying to think about what it is that needs to change, because something does, right? There's a lot that we could consider to try to figure out what that is, and who knows, maybe I won't have to, but I might. And there's a huge relief. It's like, it's strange. I'm like, and I wouldn't die, and I wouldn't, you know, life would go on. I would be able to figure out a way to make everything work. And it would actually, perhaps it would be, you know, a downgrade for a pretty major upgrade. That's important to think about too. And that's not how I've thought for a lot of my young life. And it's important to think about all the decisions being, whether they're emotional, whether they're pentacle based, whether they're about your sense of self and how you're going about things. These things are connected right now within our own understanding of what we're trying to do and what needs corrected and redrafted. I'm still feeling very positive about this, and I'm so in love, by the way, with how we are getting reminders from the reading the other day, even though I'm keeping it short, and this is threatening to go into long territory, so I'm going to end it. But what's our hidden energy? Not bottom of the deck. Yeah, keep putting in the work. And like I said, today's a velvet poof to just rest on and be like, I have put in work, because there's a lot of exhaustion here when it comes to Pentacles stuff. And so the other message I'm getting with this is, like I was just talking about, maybe it's work smarter, not harder. I can put in all the work I want. If I'm choosing to afford this rent and the bills that go along with that, and, you know, who knows, all these different things. And then I only have a little bit left over to start my whatever, or if any, right? Other projects and things that I'm trying to invest in myself for. Work smarter, not harder might mean just changing the way that I'm spending all the other money so that there's more left over in this stockpile to grow and make projects. But also, if that's not where you find yourself, if that's not where you're at in your personal decision making, it could just be taking, look at that. That's not part of our situation. I didn't talk about it. It's not part of the reading, but Ten of Swords is there. So I'm also getting this idea around, like, today's gratitude has to do with just being like, I'm safe to let it go, whatever it is. You are. It's okay to let it go. Whatever comes to mind when I say that for you, just go outside and, like, speak it into the air and be like, watch it float. My alarm went off. In Thailand, they have those lanterns and you light them and they float away and you make a wish. Just see the thing that you're letting go of going away. Ten of Swords, it's over. So yeah. I'm going to take one Angel Answer Oracle card. So if you have a question, preferably a yes or no question, ask it now. Ask it now, and we'll get an answer for it. Oh, and the message that I never finished was about the Nocturnal Oracle with the little, not the Nocturnal Oracle, it's my tarot that has the little dots on it being like these Christmas lights. That's how this passage is. It's just getting more and more sparkly. So something about that magician energy and gratitude that goes longer. It goes a longer way. It has more, this just, I can't emphasize, you know, holidays aside, the energy of these months is really special on a personal level. And I'll talk more about that as we move into December. Oh, and the rune. I gotta do the rune as well. Okay, listen, I'm gonna pull the rune and I'm gonna put the information to understand the rune as far as energy to release in the description of the video so that I can still keep the video short. And you can read about it in the description box underneath, okay? So one more shuffle here. And then the answer to your question is success. All right, everybody, have a great day, and I'll be back later. Bye. Oh, wait. I forgot to draw the rune. I can't remember anything. This is our energy to release. Okay, I'll put the meaning of this rune in the description box to look at.